Alright guys, welcome back to another episode in our Elden Ring walkthrough. We just made our way through this camp here and we got absolutely destroyed because I'm an idiot. Not because it was hard, but because I was dumb. So we're gonna go from there and we're gonna go back to what is this? The Great Bridge North, Grace, and we're gonna check and see if we have any Shadow Realm blessings we can use. Yes. And yes. All right. So we're at 4-4. And we want a holy weapon. All right. So you can either use, I like using this claymore because that's the one that we have upgraded from the last episode. Inseparable sword will also work here, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go fight this dragon. Now this dragon, is a death dragon, so it's the equivalent. We have one death bird in this DLC, but this is going to be the equivalent to our death birds from the base game. It's a dragon fight with Ghostflame, basically. So once we get up on top of it, we'll be able to summon our mimic. So we'll go ahead and buff up. Buff up. And then we want to get our Sacred Blade out. Alright, there's the Ghostflame. Too early there. Either way, dragon's down. And if it wasn't for my stupidity in the last episode, we'd have enough to level right now. If you do have enough to level, I would suggest putting that into mind, because that's where I will be putting my next level. All right, so from here, we're going to, you're going to go to the Belurat Gaol, and we're going to do Belurat Gaol. Now you can turn on your lantern. We don't really need it. There's enough light in here, but in case you have a hard time seeing in blue light, you can go ahead and put on your lantern, and that should help a little bit, but you know, it's just a lot of blue light, so it may seem a little bit dim, but in all honesty, this is actually enough light. You're going to be able to see everything just fine. All right, so from here, it's going to drop down. Stairs are going to break. There's not that many like hidden paths in this jail, so it's the jail's basically straightforward. There's one section here where we do a couple of drop downs, where if you take the wrong path, there's sort of two paths down. If you take the wrong path down, you'll miss out on a couple of pieces of loot, but other than that, there's no like hidden paths or anything like that here. I guess you could say the pot room sort of has hidden paths to it, but not really, because you can kind of see where the path will take you. One of the enemies you're going to want to watch out for in here though are these pot people. Once we get to the pot people, I'll point them out, but they're kind of gross and they're kind of a pain to deal with. Fire works well against them. So if you're a Dex build, we just picked up that fire perfume bottle. If you want to go level that up and use that would work really well. Otherwise, Bloodhound's Fang's fine. So pop through that little hole, and then we're gonna come out here. Grab your Thaw Frost boluses. Then and make our way through here. Here we go. This is your first actual pot person. So this is what's inside the pot people. Oh, the little ones are kids, but the bigger ones, they look like that. That's what's inside the pot people. It's gross. All right, so once you get to those dudes here, the double section here, we're gonna drop down onto this pot, and then this pot, and then this pot. Now this is where you can mess up the direction in which you want to go. So from here, we're gonna drop down to here, and then we're gonna drop down to here. And you want to make sure when you're dropping that you're aiming between the chains, because the chains have collision and they will bounce you off. All right, and then we're gonna pick up this loot. And instead of taking this path down, that pot, and then that pot, and then the ground, we want to aim for this pot. Now remember, you want to line up your roll between the chains or you'll get pushed off. And so we can basically see the 3 chains there if we get the view just right. So we want to roll here. And then we can just roll off. And from there, this pot's gonna break, and you're gonna have a pot person, and they shoot out that thing from their, I don't know what you would call that. It's gross. Now, what I call that is not safe for YouTube. So you can make up your own term for it. That is safe for YouTube. I'm just going to call it the not safe for YouTube attack. You just want to dodge that. Like I said, these things are really, really weak to fire. So hitting them with fire really, really shuts them down. Pick up this one. I'm gonna go ahead and go across the bridge. There's gonna be a couple of more pot people. There's one right here. Just let them break out of the jar. Innard meat, that's gross. And then there's 2 here. But their jars don't break. You actually have to break the jar before you can start doing damage to them. And then this walkway is going to break. And then this room is kind of a puzzle room, but not too much, right? So there's one path to go through. It's straightforward. You can't miss the path. It's the path that you fall down on. Grab your Lost Ashes of War. And then we'll head back to the path. Basically right now what we're doing is we're making our way to the exit. There's a couple of different side paths. Don't worry, we'll get everything. We're not going to miss anything in here. Once we get to the exit here, it's going to be a little bit hard to see if we drop it behind the pots. We're going to go ahead and drop a rainbow stone. Okay, and so we'll know that one is the exit. So from here, see how these pots, they're kind of falling over? That gives us a spot which we can hop over into another section of the room. And then you're just going to head south through that opening, and you're just going to work your way along this wall to the very end of this path back here. Then you're going to fight that pot person. And then we're going to pick up our Potenate cookbook. And then there's a bunch of stuff up there, and we're going to go get that now. We're going to head back along that path. And then you're going to see this path here. And you got your other pot person there with the not safe for YouTube attack. Got your entered meat. Then we're going to come up to this pot level here. And we're going to jump across. Grab our hefty crack pot. Now I like to use the little jump trick to get up there, but you don't have to. We're going to come down here. We're going to take out these pot people. Where'd the other one go? I know there's two of you. Where'd you go? Where are you? Where'd you go? I lost it. All right. Well, it's not that important. So that's our exit. We're not ready to leave quite yet. There's one more little side path that we need to go down. It's right here. This one here, it basically just makes a loop. Gonna grab our frozen maggot. And then that loops back around to the start. Now, I've got my eyes and ears out for that other pot person, but I ain't seeing them. There it is. All right, so we want to get over there. There we go. All right, and then that wraps up this little space. With the last pot person, I believe. That's everything in here. Quick little double check. There's this little path here. Where does that take us? That takes us up to here. Is that just some more frozen maggots? Frozen maggots, frozen maggots, frozen maggots. Looks like it's just frozen maggots, and then we're back to the end. So that's it. And then we're gonna head out this way. And we've got some pots to cross. Alright, and then once we get close, that jar should break. And once it breaks, it's going to do that attack. And it's going to try to push us off, but if we can jump across between its attack, then we should be able to get across just fine. One here will break open. That one there will break open. Alright, and then down over here, we've got one little side path to go down. We're going to drop onto this pot. Once we drop onto this pot, it's going to take us up. And we want to jump onto this pot here. And this pot here. And then we want to jump to this pot. And then to this pot, and then to these stairs. All right. Grab your great jar. These guys want to be WWE, we'll just come at them off the top rope. How's that? Grab your living jar shard. I think that's all the jars. I don't think any of these other jars come to life here. Pretty sure that's it. I don't think there's any other pieces of loot down here either. Oh, alright. So we're going to drop to this jar and to this jar, and we're going to drop down here, grab that, grab that, and then that puts us right back to where we were. We're going to jump over here, and now it's time for the boss. We're going to jump to here. And then we're going to jump over here. If you can, you want to land on this pillar here, and then you'll drop down. And then from there, you'll drop down to here. And then we have the boss. This boss here, he does a lot of damage really fast. But he doesn't have a lot of poise. And he really doesn't have a lot of hit points. So what we want to do is, before we go in, we're going to buff up And then the first thing we want to do is get some distance between us and the boss, because he's going to come at us with a bunch of these little attacks. And now we want to summon Mimic. And still, with nothing in my offhand when I summoned Mimic, he was using Bloodhound's Fang one-handed. It's goofy. It's so goofy. Anyway, Belurat's done. Oh man, I still didn't put up my timer. All right, let's check that. Let's see how much time we got. All right, we're 21 minutes. Okay, so that'll get us to Fogrift Catacombs, but we won't be able to do Fogrift Catacombs. Oh, I still have this up here, so maybe we didn't get that. Let's go check that. Well, all right, so we're nighttime. Let's head down and let's check and make sure that we got our larval tier. And then I can remove that from the mini-map. Alright. Yeah, it looks like I got it. Yeah, that looks like I got it. Okay. Well, from here, let's see. We're gonna do this furnace here real quick. And then we will call that the episode. And before we head just straight to the furnace, we're going to cut off to the right here. Oh yeah, we still have that furnace golem to kill. All right, we'll kill that next episode, like first thing. All right, so we're going to grab that crossbow. And now we're gonna head off to the furnace, or the forge rather. Now these forges are cool. They're the DLC's equivalent to mining tunnels, but they don't have a boss. But what they do have are forge golems. And forge golems are kind of tedious to deal with. And by kind of tedious to deal with, I mean they're just an outright pain in the ass. So we're gonna, we want to set up to be able to punk these guys. So let's go ahead and go to our chest. Let's make sure we got what we need. We can store that, store that, store that. Store that, store that, store that, store that. Store that, store that, store that. All right, so we got this. Yeah, that'll work. Actually, do we have great stars? We have a great stars leveled up. That's what I want to know. No, okay. So then this will work. All right. You just want a strike weapon. Great Stars works well. Most clubs here are going to work really well. If you read this, right, it says hit them where they're weakest. That doesn't really tell us anything. Here's a forge golem here, and we can see right there that little red ruby looking thing. That's where you want to hit them. Once you get them vulnerable, go to the crit. If you can do a charged heavy to their backside, you want to do that, but lining up the charge heavy and getting some time to do that, that's not always possible. Standard heavy attack is also acceptable. That should get them made vulnerable real quick. And you'll get some smithing mats from taking them out. Nothing super good. One of the later golems, you want to watch out for these little stack of squares. Those are gas stones. We'll need them for crafting a little bit later. One of the final forges that we go into has a pair of furnace golems right together, and it's a real pain to deal with those two, and I haven't found a good or reliable way to take them out, so we're probably gonna skip them, which is unfortunate because one of those golems is like the only golem that has a chance to drop the golem fist, which is a unique fist weapon to the DLC, but they're also kind of dookie, which, you know, for all the trouble that it takes to get them, for them to be kind of dookie is a big disappointment. All right, so once you get to this room and you've picked up your crafting mats, we want to drop onto this ledge here, and then we want to drop down here. Grab your Potentate's Cookbook 13, and then we're gonna go up there in a second, but we're gonna come down here and we're gonna deal with this guy again. Getting a heavy attack on their backside. It's a difficult feat to pull off. Getting a charged heavy is one of the things that you want to do. But if you can get a good heavy attack or a really well placed charged heavy right there in the ruby, you're gonna take them out real fast. All right, so come around the back behind the ladder. Grab all your crafting mats. And then we're not going to go down there quite yet. And we just want to get our crafting mats. Got a couple more smithing stones here. Now we're gonna head up. We'll take these stairs. Gonna pop across here. Gonna pop across here. Pick up smithing stone 7. And these smithing stones at the end. And then whenever possible, you want to kill the lava things. They drop more crafting mats. This place is just a place for crafting mats, basically. Everything here drops crafting mats. There's crafting mats all over the floor. It's crafting mat central. And there's not a good amount of the top level crafting mats. Those are still exceedingly rare. You get ancient dragon smithing stones from the end of the... Oh, we forgot to hit the lever. Oh, that's all right. We'll go back and grab the lever. You get ancient dragon smithing stones from the end of these. Somber smithing stones. Those are still really rare. I'll have to double check, but I don't think we find that many. I think we get one from a dragon boss, and I think that's about it. I don't think that there's very many. I think we might find a couple just out and about in the world as well, but as far as like getting them from these forges, I think that there's none. Alright, so we forgot to hit the lever, which we need. So we'll go back, we'll hit the lever. Getting a little distracted by my inner thoughts. Come on, get up there. All right, so then you want to pull this lever. That'll bring this down. And once it's all the way down, we want to do a sprinting jump. And that'll get us almost right to the edge. If you fall off, there's a ladder there that you can use to get back up and do it again. And then we want to roll. Oh, missed it. And then you want to roll. Missed it again. Man, my timing is way off. You're going to pop over the side here. And right here, this is the end. We're going to touch that. And we're going to get anvil hammer and an ancient dragon smithing stone. All right, and then we're done. So from there, we're going to go ahead and pop over to Castle Front. And that's where we will end the episode. So I will see you all in the next one.